Hello everybody and welcome to this Sims 3 speed build. Actually this one is a house remodel type of video where I'm taking a home that is already pre-built in the game and I'm thoroughly remodeling it. And so you can see here I've already started work here, and the house I'm doing is Villa Alto. So I've spent quite a lot of time redoing this. Actually, I started making the video 2 weeks ago, so it's been in the works for quite a while, and I am very happy with the way this house turned out, and you'll see it finished at the end of the video. So right now, as you can see, I've already very much redone the front here, and I'm just doing the entranceway to the house, and so there's a few things that I actually want to address before we get farther into this video. Before we get too far in, I just want to ask you guys a question, kind of video I want to do. I've just started playing Minecraft only a few days ago, actually, and I'll say that I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm actually quite excited about it, and I was thinking of doing a Let's Play series on this channel of Minecraft. And I just want to hear what you guys think about that. Even if you don't like it, I'll probably do it anyway, but it's nice to know if you'd like to see me do that. So, of course, I love feedback, and you can leave that in the comments below this video. But, so that was the main thing I wanted to ask you in this video, main thing I wanted to mention. Anyway, I've started thoroughly redoing the house here. There's a couple turrets on this side, and you can see the rear of the house has been changed quite drastically. What's interesting about this house is that it was actually very, very thin. They actually had to put the living room on the second floor because there wasn't enough room on the first floor for it, which is kind of odd considering it's such a large house that they should probably make it actually large, but I took care of that. So the final house ends up being, what is it, about 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms, so it's a very, very good size. So this is the entrance here. These railings I'm putting in, I'll change those later. And then I put in huge amounts of columns, which was not the best choice. That's where I changed them later. I'll remove some of them throughout the video. As you can see, I went a little column crazy. So I take a few of them away as we progress. And so I'm just working on the entranceway, which is very grand. It's actually about half a floor, a little bit more than half a floor above the ground, which the original house was that way, so I kind of kept it that way as well. I'd have to delete everything and start from scratch, which was not really remodeling, it's more starting from scratch, so whatever. Anyway, the design I went with for this house was kind of, as you could say, Spanish colonial, I think. Well, it's Spanish inspired. It's got a lot of, I think, Spanish look to it. It's got stucco and stone, but I tried to use kind of colors that would, I guess, be Spanish. I used some cream and tan and peach, those kind of colors. So right here I'm just doing the roof over the entrance of this house. I do a kind of interesting thing with the roofing. You can see I'm doing that right here. It's kind of these like little boxes that kind of run down the side of the house. There's 3 on each side. I'm not really sure what they're called or if they actually exist in real life, but I thought that they kind of looked Spanish-like. I put later on I put some shuttered windows on them, and I think it looks pretty cool. So you'll see I'm just making those. The roofs don't stay that way. I actually make them a little bit shallower, not as pointy. Anyway, I'm just working on some balconies. There are balconies all around the entire house. So pretty much every room has a balcony or a deck for it, so you can take in the views no matter where you are in the house, which is a very nice feature. So I'm just doing the main roof here, and you can see I'm just roofing the balconies separately with a kind of like a lower roof as well. So I'm doing all that here. And also, if you haven't noticed yet, this is actually the longest video I've ever made. It's, what is it? It's like 50-some minutes, 53 minutes or 54, I don't know. It's very long. Hopefully you can stick through it all because the outcome of this house is so nice, and I'm really quite pleased with it, and so I can't wait for you to see that at the end of the video. So right now I'm just trying to figure out the roofing. I ended up putting a little turret piece there, And so that's pretty much the roof finished on the main house. I do add some other buildings around. I had a garage because I deleted the old one. I put in a new garage, and I also put in a barn, which I really like the barn, just for some reason. I think it looks nice. So there you can see the gigantic turret is right there off to the left side of the house. Left side? Yes, the left side. And I'm also now painting the house. That's not the final color, actually. I do change it to kind of a darker, richer tones, but for now that's just a base coat so I can kind of visualize what I want to do. So right now I'm choosing the peachy kind of color. It's not really peach, I guess it's a darker color. So I kind of use that as an accent. And I also have tan and cream as well, which I believe those are kind of Spanishy tropical colors, maybe. I don't know. I think so. It's my thoughts on the matter anyway. So I'm just doing some stone. I do change the color of the stone later as well, because I just didn't like the way it was. It was a little too greenish. I don't know, brownish. So I make it a little bit more purpley, I guess. It's more reddish, I guess. You can see there it matches the stucco a bit better. So that's the stone I used throughout the entire house, and the stucco, that's the accent stucco. So that's the roof. It's a tile roof. I'm just choosing which one I wanted. I had a little bit of trouble choosing what I wanted there, so I went with a light red tile. So you can see there's the tan color I used, and you can also see there's the rest of the stone that's just coming in right now. Sorry, just having a drink of water to keep my voice sounding good anyway. So here's the cream color that goes throughout the entrance, and is that the cream on the turret? I don't actually know. I think that might be tan on the turret. I'm not sure. There's some more stone and some more stucco as well. So I'm just finishing up all the painting on the house, and that is pretty much it. And some more. Oh, actually, no, never mind. There's more stucco to do, and more stone. So I'm just gonna need to finish off the stone. I'm using 2 different stone patterns actually, just so it doesn't repeat, because when it repeats, it doesn't look very realistic, so I tried to use a couple different stone patterns there. Anyway, this is the railings, which don't actually stay. I change them out for something that looks a little bit more Spanish styled anyway. So, yeah, so I'm just removing some columns, because as I said before, there were a bit too many of them, so I removed a couple of columns. And just changing the color of them. I think that at the end they're white and black, so I do change that too. So there's some more railings coming in, and removing all the old windows and adding on our balcony on the 2nd floor there, and the some railings. Yeah, so I choose some really nice kind of Spanish looking railings, not those. Yeah, those actually right there. And I make the ones downstairs that railing as well, because I just thought it looked more Spanish, and it fit the style of house better. So that's what I went with. Anyway, there's some 3-story columns. Things are huge. And here I'm changing the color of the columns to white, which looks a little bit better. I didn't like the orange color that I have right now, so I'm just making them all white, and that looks a little bit better. So you can see here I'm just putting all these huge columns around the turret and changing all the colors. And I also put in some 2-story columns around the sides like so, as you can see, just to make it look like it's a bit more supported than it would otherwise look. So there's some columns holding up the balcony on the 1st floor, and some 2-story columns on those balconies as well. And now I'm just touching up the terrain painting, and I think I'm gonna level out the ground too. You can see there's that huge rock formation underneath the house, which was a little annoying because I had to paint all that up, so that was kind of a little bit of a nuisance anyway. So that's the garage right there I'm building, and it's just a normal kind of 2-story garage. It's got like a little turret on it, and I do edit the turret a little bit later on as well, because I thought it was just a little bit too tall. So I'm just doing a fancy roof with some fake dormers on it, so it just looks a little bit more detailed, and a little turret roof. And now I'm just going to add in some doors as well. I put a couple on that side and a side door on the front of it, because it just was a little bit it just looked weird there and there because the turret was cutting off one of the edges, so I didn't like it in the front. That's why I put the garage doors on the sides. Anyway, I'm just finishing up the stone and the stucco on the garage, and then I think we move on to the barn, but I'm not sure. Yeah, here's the barn. So I'm just removing the weird hedge maze that they had. I didn't think was necessary. And so there's the barn, which I'm building now. I really like what I do with the inside of the barn. That's actually the last thing I do in the video, so you'll see that when we get to that point. So I really like the barn, just for some reason. I thought it was just a nice thing to add into the corner of the property there. So you can see I'm just kind of adding a nice roof onto it, like so. And so that's pretty much the barn. There's not much to it, on the outside, rather. And also on the garage, the windows I put on the garage and the barn are like these big glass ones, and I do change those out later. You'll see when we get to that point. I'll change them out. Well, I'll put in big glass ones and then change them out with smaller ones. So see that'll look a little bit better. So I was going to do this covered walkway between the barn and the garage, but it just turned out it looked really ugly, so I didn't keep it because I thought that it just didn't look right, so it didn't stay. And you can see here I'm just removing it, and that's pretty much that with it. Yeah, so it's gone. So the windows, I don't know why I was looking at circular windows, but obviously I don't use those. Instead, I use some little arched windows, which they look quite nice. You know, they kind of Spanish colonial style windows. Those right there. I don't use the square ones on the bottom. Yeah, so I just basically choosing some windows and doors, making them a nice wooden color, which I use throughout the entire house, I think, on most of the furniture as well. So it's a pretty commonly used wooden color on this house. As for the window on above this, like on this fake level here, I don't keep that little rectangle one because it just didn't match in with the style of the house, so I do change that later as well. And those little windows, which I will go back to later and use them on the barn and the garage and the turret as well. So I use those quite widely on this house, but not right off the bat. I do change them out later on. So I'm just putting in the windows in the turret and the turrets rather, and you can see they're just the nice arched windows, which look quite good on there. And I put some nice large windows around back, so you have a nice view of the pool area and the ocean. I don't know if you can see the ocean from there, but whatever. So right now I'm going to put in the fireplace chimney thing. I had some trouble with one of the cheats. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, so I just cut the video there and then all's well. Anyway, not quite yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. Oh geez, I'm pathetic. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. So there's the fireplace. I'm just choosing a nice large one there, and I'm walling it off the chimney so it can be made stone. And I thought that was a nice little addition because the original house did not have a fireplace, and I thought it should have had a fireplace. Anyway, I'm just doing windows and doors. I'm continuing on that. So there's the front door. Yes, the one I go with there. And there's a little double kind of French door on the second floor, and some more windows kind of everywhere. So this is the turret, and I don't keep those windows there. I change them out with some smaller ones. I just don't like them because they looked like too much glass to be on that part of the house. On this part, I use these like little windows, but I actually change them out for shuttered windows later, which looks like a little bit nicer, I think, because if you notice, like the top of the window gets cut off, if you saw that, because it's like half a level, so it didn't look quite nice. And when the windows are shuttered, you can't see the cut, so it's pretty good. Anyway, I'm just doing some balcony doors, some more windows on the side here. And the barn windows, again, I changed those to shuttered windows because I just didn't think the large windows fit in correctly. And same with the garage, I changed those out as well. And I changed out those stained glass windows too because I didn't like those. You can see they just didn't look quite right there, so I do change those out later. Anyway, this is the garage door. One of the garage doors, I'm just changing those, and the barn door and all that good stuff. So I'm putting in some more windows, and I think that's done for the windows at this moment. So I'm going to work on the floor plan now. Um, I do think it turned out pretty well. I have a very kind of grand entrance too. It's a huge entrance. There's all these like, little holes everywhere, which is kind of interesting. Idea you can see is like little look downs or look throughs. I don't know what you call it. Overlooks on either side of the 2-bedroom doors. You'll see I put them in sometime soon. And I just have kind of like little look downs just to be fancy. There's really no purpose in them. And you'll see when I get there. Yeah, you can see I just have all those like little holes in the floor. I just thought it was kind of fancy. Anyway, that's going to be the master bedroom where the hideous tile is. And I just wanted to have kind of like a look down into the the living room, like a 2-story ceiling in the living room. I ended up putting the 2-story ceiling actually in the dining room. And the dining room's not very large, but it looks bigger because it has a 2-story ceiling in it. You'll see all this crazy hallway and diagonal walls go away. So right there I decided I wanted that to be the 2-story ceiling area, and that was pretty much that. So I'll put bathrooms in later because I couldn't figure out where to put them at that time, so I come back to that. So this is the downstairs area, and this is where the living room, dining room, and kitchen goes. So you see that's the dining room, the living room, and the kitchen all just walled off there. And this is the study here I'm doing. And there's also a library down here, which I just split it up. So you can see that's not going to be a library. That's actually the last room I furnished because it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted it to be. And then it came to me. So I'm just going to smooth out the landscaping here, or the ground, to prepare for landscaping. And also, speaking of landscaping, unfortunately, like the drive I was saving the recording to while I was doing landscaping actually ran out of room and it stopped recording. I didn't even actually notice that until I finished doing it, of course. So I don't actually have recorded footage of me doing the landscaping. So I kind of have like before and after pictures, like before landscaping and after landscaping. And then I come back to talk over the furnishing part when I build the furnishing. So that's all good. So in the near future, you'll see the landscaping fades in some nice little pictures with some music playing for your enjoyment, of course. Anyway, right at this moment, I'm changing out those little windows, that big wide window with those little windows. So I think that looked a little bit nicer, so I did that. And so I kind of changed up the roof. I don't think I kept it that way, no. And I also changed out the windows on the turret as well. I just thought those like smaller windows, they looked a little bit more Spanish-y rather than the huge glass windows. I just didn't think they fit in properly. So you can see here I'm just doing all the little windows and that kind of stuff. You know, I thought that turned out pretty well. And also I replaced these windows with shuttered windows like that, which I got rid of it and brought it back. Yeah, so there's the shuttered windows, and I kind of just put those on those little box things. I don't know really what you'd call them, as I said before, but I think the shuttered windows look quite nice on there. And I also put a shuttered window in the front, and some more windows on the side. And I make the chimney a little bit larger, like just little tweaks and stuff on the actual structure, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And what I'm doing now, I'm not sure of. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm changing the railing. The downstairs railing, as I mentioned when I was doing it before, that I was going to change it, so right now I'm doing just that. And I think it'll look a little bit nicer with this different railing. I think it kind of suits it a little bit better than having the 2 different railings. I didn't like that very much. So you can see here I'm just changing that right now. And I'm putting in kind of a more Spanish-y type railing, I guess. So I'm just doing all that everywhere. It takes a little bit of time because I have to move all the doors and columns out of the way, which is kind of annoying. That's just because they clip through the, well, there's not enough room there technically to place them, so I just used Move Objects On and did that. Anyway, this is the garage. I'm just changing the turret here. I just end up lowering it. I don't actually make it bigger. You can see I'm just putting it all back. But I do make it a little bit shorter because I didn't like how tall it was in comparison to the rest of the garage. So I make it a little bit lower, and that was pretty much that with the turret. So you can see that's that. And also I put in some more appealing windows on there, those little windows, which have become classic in this house. I never used them before, but I've used them quite a lot here, and the shuttered windows too. I put those on the garage as well, which I thought just looked a little bit better. And on the barn as well, I just replaced all the windows with shuttered windows. So you can see I'm just doing that here. Now, just note that the shutter windows do not let light in, as you would expect, so they're just there for decoration. So, right here I'm doing the fountain that's in front of the front door, so I thought that looked quite nice to have a nice fancy fountain there. And you can see here I'm just putting in some light fixtures that would light up the fountain a little bit nicer than it all being weirdly dark. So there you go, some nice lights, and I also put in a fountain as well. Not that one, I actually changed it to like a cone. I guess you could call it a cone fountain, I'm not sure. But I do change it. Yeah, there it is. So it's kind of like a cone thing. It looks a little bit better. And all the tile work that goes on all the balconies and stuff, I make a nice kind of like light cream you can see here. I like that a lot. I think that looks quite elegant and it matches the house quite nicely. So this is the pool area, I believe I'm going to be doing here. Yeah. So I'm just removing all the excess things and I'm adding in a staircase as well. So you can get down from the deck to the pool, which is useful. So I'm just choosing a staircase. There you go. And also I make it go down a little bit more, and that's that. So you can see that's the little staircase. And I also made the pool larger and add kind of like a pool, I guess it's a canopy. I don't know if I call it a canopy or house. I don't know where you'd technically put it in, because it hasn't got 4 walls, it's only got 3 walls, and like the side facing the pool is like open. But it's got like a little outdoor kitchen in it. It's quite neat, you know, so your Sims can relax in there and stay out of the sun. Anyway, right here I was trying to do an infinity pool, even though there's no hill there or no ocean, so it made no sense, but it didn't stop me from trying, and it didn't work, obviously, that it made no sense that it would work. So I spent an outrageous amount of time trying to figure it out, and it doesn't work, so I didn't follow through with it. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, so that didn't really help either. So you can see there I'm just trying to see if I could get it to work right, but I didn't get it to work. I put those hideous rocks in, and then I thought, oh, I'll do some windows. Oh, the rock clips through the window, that's no good. Oh, that's quite ugly. And then I eventually got rid of it all, because it just didn't work. So that was a good thing to get rid of that, because that was a bad idea. So there you go. I'm going to replace that with a fountain instead. I have a nice stone fountain you can see here from Island Paradise, and I also put in some nice rocks. All that stuff is from Island Paradise, you can see. It came with some good pool stuff, because that's what the expansion pack was kind of centered on, you know, outdoor paradise stuff, I guess. Anyway, this is the little pool house canopy thing I mentioned. You can see here I'm putting columns in, but I actually replaced those with walls later. I think that's off camera. I don't think I have myself recording myself. No, that was a bad way to say that. I don't think I have myself. I don't think I recorded myself doing that. So that just kind of comes in if you see the screenshots or whatever. So this is just the roof on the pool area, and very shortly we'll actually be moving to the landscaping pictures, so you can enjoy those. And then of course I'll be back to talk over the furnishing pictures, which I have all that stuff recorded. So that's all good. Just adding in some stone here. So yeah, you can see I'm like doing it in strips, so I have kind of one stone and then alternating with another type of stone. That's the reason I'm doing it that way, just so it looks a little bit more realistic than it otherwise would have looked. So I'm also going to add in some windows on the pool house. When I say windows, I just mean holes in the wall, because windows didn't quite work. You'll see that. So I was going to do that and paint it up a little nice, and you know, just touch it up a little bit, and I'm going to put in yeah, the windows. You see that didn't work, so I just cut holes in the wall. But anyway, I'll see you after the landscape pictures. Okay, everybody, I'm back once again, and you can see I'm just adding these kind of fake balcony things over the two-story area on the dining room, and I'm just finishing up the doors, interior doors, and archways and all those goodies and all that stuff, and then we'll begin on the furnishing. I hope that you enjoyed those landscaping pictures, and I'm sorry I didn't have an actual recording of me landscaping, but then again, this video is running so long anyway that it's almost excusable. Anyway, I'm just choosing a floor tile color for the entrance hall, and I really like the entrance. I kind of did some bold colors here, and like I have bright orange couches and bright green curtains, and that does sound like a recipe for disaster, but it all turns out very nicely, actually, which I think is very good. And you'll see that after I choose the wallpaper, because the yellow is just not working for me. So kind of just like a brownish green kind of color, which I think worked a little bit better. And I'm doing some wood, like carrying the wood from the walls up onto from the floor up onto the walls. And I'm just making all the hallways upstairs wood. And I wanted to change it to paint later, but I forgot, so it stays wood. And it's kind of interesting. You know, it adds an interesting aspect to the hallway. It almost seems like you're on a ship, because I don't know why. It's just that's the way I see it. But back downstairs here, we're just putting the railings on the stairway, and I'm going to start on the furnishing of the entrance very soon. You can see there's a chandelier just being placed over these stairs, and there's a couple of sconces, and you know, I'm going to do some more stuff soon. So yeah, there's the bookshelf, and the sofa I think comes in next. Yep, there it is. And very soon it'll be transformed into a bright orange thing. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. And some chairs as well. Those go bright orange, which, I don't know, it just worked. I think I went well with the wood color, and that's kind of why it worked. And I think orange and green go together, so maybe that's why the curtains worked. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. So there's a fish tank, which I think turned out nicely. And you know, I'm not entirely sure, but I think this house actually uses something from every expansion pack. And maybe every stuff pack, I'm not sure. I just recently, actually, only like a week ago, I just went on a spending spree and spent like $100 and bought like all the expansion packs and stuff packs I didn't have. So now I pretty much have a complete collection of the Sim stuff. It's just except for the Katy Perry Sweet Treats, which I have no interest in at all, because that's just ridiculous in my opinion. But that's okay. So I have every expansion pack. I had every single one except for 2, so I bought 2 expansion packs and 7 stuff packs in one go, which was quite expensive. But you know, I pretty much used all the new stuff in this house because I was very excited about it all. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of content in this house, but it's okay because if you want to download it, you can still do that because the game will just replace content you don't have with content you do have, so that'll all be fine. But anyway, I'm just putting in some green curtains. You saw I did that, and it actually worked well. Maybe because the plants are there. I think it looks good with the plants. So this is just a hallway that leads from the entrance to the dining room and living room. So it's nicely decorated. There's a little mirror in there as well, which is kind of interesting, I guess. But it's got a mirror and a chair, so that's good. Anyway, this is going to be the living room and dining room. So it's going to be a light blue color. And I think that looked kind of nice. It was a nice soothing color scheme for these rooms, and I love those chairs. I don't know. I think they're from. I don't know. Wait, I think it's a stuff pack those are from, and they look so nice. I don't know. They're so high back and luxurious. They're very I don't know. It's the word imposing, I guess. I don't know. They're impressive. So I liked them. So I used those chairs and some rugs. No, not some rug. Oh. A rug. Yes, a rug. That's what I was supposed to say. And I used some giant chess pieces here next to the fireplace, which was an interesting thing to do. And I like those. I don't know what the point of them is for. I think they're like from Showtime or something, and they're supposed to be like stage stuff. Like if someone's like doing a performance, like they're supposed to be like stuff that goes on the stage. I don't know. But I thought they looked really cool. You might not think that, but I do, so I used that. And I'm just getting the layout for the living room here. I choose a nice flat screen television and arrange the seating around that. And I also put in some nice bright yellow sunflowers, which kind of stand out. They add kind of pop. And this is a little cozy corner of the living room. We have a rocking chair and like a little bay window, and like a little table with a lamp. It's very very nice and cozy in there. So I like that little corner of the room. It's a nice little nook for reading, even though there is a library in the house, so you could just read there. But anyway, I'm just doing the curtains here. I'm going with a bluish color for them because the room is blue, so it just made sense that the curtains be blue as well, so it all matches in nicely. Just adding in a coffee table as well, so you can place your coffee on your coffee table, even though I'm sure other people place other things on there as well, so not necessarily just for coffee. There's a little tissue box on there, and a couple of big palm plants, I guess, that go on either side of the TV, which kind of look nice, kind of add a panache to the room, I guess. So we have a grand piano as well, just to fill in that space in the corner. And I also put in some rugs in the living room, and also this thing in the middle. It's like a little clear bust on a pedestal, just to kind of be like the focal point in between the two rooms. It doesn't really serve any purpose, but it's there. You can see it's the clear bust that just goes right there in the center. So a little painting of flowers, and this is the kitchen here. So you can see here I'm just doing some tile work. I choose like a nice marble look, which I think looks quite good. And I'm also here doing some cabinets. I do change them. I don't use those because they didn't join together properly, and it was so annoying. But I changed them out with those, which do join together properly, which is very nice. It's not a very big kitchen, but it's big enough. I mean, really, your Sims don't need a huge kitchen. It's plenty big for just cooking normal recipes. So you can see here I'm just doing some overhead cabinets, and you have all the nice appliances in the kitchen as well. Those huge curtains, those don't stay. They do look kind of weird, but I don't keep them there. I end up using some smaller curtains that just kind of fit in a little bit better. I don't think that the huge curtains really worked properly in the kitchen. So I'm putting in some nice stainless steel appliances, a little dishwasher, and a sink as well. So your Sims have all the nice amenities of a luxurious house, because this is a luxurious house, so it makes sense. And some more curtains and some little bar stools just to go around this eat-in area on the kitchen. It's kind of like a breakfast bar. So I was originally only going to do 2 seats, but I ended up putting 4 anyway, so I did that. So you'll see I do that later. There's some pots and pans. There's the 4 stools, and I put like a little eating nook in the corner here, so you can sit and eat by the windows. So, well, the only reason I did that is because you don't have to like, eat in the dining room all the time. Though actually, in The Sims, because those dining chairs are the closest to the kitchen, they'll actually always eat there. So good luck trying to get your Sims to eat at the dining table. It probably won't happen, but it's okay. So I got some bamboo plants on the other side of a china cabinet, and I'm just kind of working out the lighting because I just wanted to get it nice and bright, but not too bright, just, you know, nice and cozy kind of lighting. So I just put a little lamp over the dining table. So anyway, this is the study. It's a nice kind of like greenish color, like a light yellowish greenish color. I actually lighten it up later. It doesn't stay that color it is now. It actually hasn't got bookcases in it, but that's okay because the library has bookcases, so that kind of makes up for it, and you don't actually have to worry about that. So that's just the desk, and I have some pens and pencils on there too. And I also use this kind of cool lamp. I thought it was really neat, like with those little hanging lights on it, and I put a nice chair under it, so I thought that was kind of a nice addition. So I have these chairs and sofa, and what's interesting about them is that it's like I think they're from Fastlane stuff. Even though that's stuff pack is like supposed to be about cars, they included some nice chairs and seating in it, which was a good move by EA there. Anyway, I have a mirror on the wall, and also what am I doing here? Curtains. So I put white curtains, kind of freshen it up, make it like a tropical feel, I guess. I don't really know. So there's a potted plant, and a little painting goes over it as well. Some nice fine art. and some little lights on your side of the bathroom door, so it lights up the room a bit nicer, and of course a rug or two, actually 3 rugs, and another giant chess piece, just for artistic detailing. So next, I believe I'm gonna do, is it this turret? Yeah, the turret was interesting because I didn't know what to do with it, so I was going to actually make like an art gallery type of thing and put this giant sculpture in it. But then I realized that was a stupid idea and I didn't do it. So what I ended up doing was putting a pool table in there, and that was pretty awesome. So you can see I put in a pool table. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. I don't know if it's usable though, just because it requires such a huge grid for placing it, and I actually used Move Objects On to place it in that little room. So who knows if it's usable, but that's for you to find out. So there you go. So there's also a bathroom, a half bath off the study here. It's the only bathroom on the first floor actually, so yeah, it's convenient to have it there. So it's just a simple bathroom, got a sink and toilet and little details to make it look nice and fancy. Little white countertop, and there's the toilet. And I also put in a little table. Yeah, I think I put in a little table sometime soon. There it is. A little folding table, and I also put some candles and some flowers next to it, just to spice it up a little bit. I think that looks kind of nice. So there you go. And I think I put a little artwork. Yeah, some artwork over the toilet, a little mat, and some mats and some toilet paper and some towels. And I think I put a little boat sculpture just to spice it up a little bit. Some soap. And yeah, there you go. And so that's the first floor done, except for the library, which I come back to later, because at this point in the video I didn't know what it was going to be yet, so you'll see that. And right now I'm just putting some lights and some rugs and some curtains in the hallways upstairs. So you can see I'm just doing that, and I'm brightening up a little bit. And so the first bedroom I'm going to do is going to be very red themed. It's very royal actually. We're going to get to that in a little bit. You can see here I'm actually doing the second floor area of the dining room. So you can see those little fake balconies looking in from those 2 bedrooms on the other side. That was a really cool idea. It's just for looks. They're not actually usable, but I thought it looked really cool. From the bedrooms and from downstairs, it just looks really neat. So I thought that was a cool idea, and I did it. So anyway, this is the first bedroom I do, the first guest room, which is incredibly, it's so rich, I guess you could say. It's so rich and red, a very royal bedroom. It's got this huge bed with all these curtain things behind it and these columns. You'll see that. I have a platform as well. Actually, there's a platform in all the bedrooms, all the beds in all the bedrooms are on a platform, which I guess kind of makes it seem more fancy. So you'll see that. You can see there's the bed, look at that. And you can see some of those huge those huge columns, which kind of go on all the sides of the bed. So it seems very, what's the word? It seems, very luxurious, I guess. So I'm just changing up the colors of the coffee tables and the columns as well. And I was going to put some curtains on there, and it just didn't work, so I didn't do it. So you see, I just decided not to do that. And some lamps, some matching red lamps, and a rug goes on the platform as well. So that looks pretty nice. And I do put some very red curtains, as you can see there. You might have seen that, very very red. I thought it was very rich in tone. It kind of fit with. It was the same color as the bedspread, I believe, so it kind of fit in with the theme of the room. Anyway, this is the little dresser slash vanity, and a little mirror there, and a little chair there, which I actually moved the chair. I actually get 2 chairs and put them by the front windows. I don't keep the rocking chairs that I'm going to put there. Yeah, those don't stay. I instead just replace them with the smaller chairs, because those rocking chairs were just too big. Yeah. So there you go. That suited the space a little bit better. And so that's pretty much this bedroom finished. Just some bamboo and some artwork. There's really not much more to it, but I think it turned out pretty nicely. It's a very elaborate bedroom, but I still like it. Even though it's a little bit overdone, but I still like it. Whatever. You have to do something fancy sometimes. Anyway, we're going to move on to, I think, the bathroom. I don't know. So I'm just putting some windows, yeah, for the bathroom and the laundry room, and I'm going to do that right now. So this is the bathroom and laundry room. Those two little rooms you can see side by side. So this is going to be the bathroom. It's just the guest room. It's actually very small. It's only like a 2x3 block room. Block? I don't know what you call it. Like the grid size. It's only like 2x3. So you can see, I have a sink, toilet, shower, tub. You have everything in there, but it's all very compacted. But it's okay. It's just for guests. Yeah, at least it's there. A small bathroom is better than no bathroom at all. So there you go. I also put a little shade on the window, some towels and all that other kind of stuff. And this is going to be the laundry room. So I put in, I do something really shocking in here. You see the artwork I put over the washer and dryer. It's very bright and colorful. I don't know if it really suits a teeny little room like that, but I thought I might as well go for it. You can see, there it is. Look at that. I also have some large curtains in there. So it's a very interesting laundry room. It's a very luxurious laundry room, I guess you could say, despite being on the smaller side. So this is another guest room. So this is, what is this? Number 2. They have the second guest room. So it's going to be green, like a light green in color, I guess. It's kind of like green and burnt orange, rust kind of color, which at first thought you probably think they don't go together, but it actually turned out pretty well, I think. You'll see how it goes. I like the colors together in this room. I actually think it turned out pretty nicely. Accidentally there, I changed all the lights in the house to black lights. That was a mistake. As you can see right there, I just did a little painting, some books, and some flowers, just to make it look a little bit more detailed. There's a dresser with a mirror over it, and I also put in some columns too in this room as well. So you can see just some smaller ones because it's a smaller room. So otherwise, the huge columns would kind of overpower the room, I guess. So a little plant in the corner. There's also going to be a television right there. It's actually the only bedroom with a television, which I thought is interesting because there was no room in the master bedroom for a television, so it didn't happen, unfortunately. But anyway, there's going to be a bookcase against that back wall there, which I'm just trying to find it right now. Yeah, there it is. So pretty much that's this bedroom done. It went pretty quickly. And you can see here, I actually like the colors. That's a very bold pattern I used on the bedspread and rugs, but it kind of goes, I guess. I don't know, I like it. You might not, but I do, so there you go. Anyway, I'm just going to finish off the third and second floor areas of the turret because I didn't do that before. And now I'm just doing the third guest room. Third? Yes, the third guest room. And it's going to be blue, this one. So we have red, green, blue, and the master will be kind of blue, green, and yellow. So it's kind of mixing them all together. You can see I have like a very modern bed, actually, which it kind of fit in anyway with the room. I didn't actually put columns in this room because it just was too small of a room for columns, so I didn't do that. But it still looks very nice. I have kind of like a worn leather chair there, and like a little modern lamp next to it. And the red curtains get changed to blue. And yeah, it's actually a very simple room. It went very quickly. I put a couple of chairs for a sitting area in the little bay window area, which is pretty nice. So you can see that there, like a nice little lamp on top, so you can read there, and a little alarm clock on the nightstand, some artwork, and some rugs. Yeah, so it was a pretty simple room. It didn't take too long to do, but I still like it. It's kind of a more modern type styled room than the other bedrooms. So anyway, I'm doing the bathroom for it, right here, the ensuite bathroom, which has a pretty shocking blue countertop, and it's also got that same blue in the shower as well, that blue stone. It's also in the floor, too. Kind of like, you can see like little squares in the floor. I kind of matched the room. It's a little bit shocking to observe. It's pretty bright. But, I wanted to build outside the box, as my tagline is. Well, more accurately here, color outside the box, but that's okay. Anyway, some little flowers in there, and that's that. So we have the master bedroom now, the fourth and final bedroom. Saved it for last, and I'm just going to do the platform for the bed here. Considering that it is the master bedroom, it's actually pretty small. I think that the first couple bedrooms were maybe bigger than it, but it's still really luxurious, and I just like the colors of it. It also has the nicest bathroom, so I do like it. I have those interesting little lamps on the nightstands there, and I'm putting in some curtains, and I like the colors in it. It's so calming, and the colors are so nice and cool and modern. I think it looks very nice. You'll see I have I'll put in some chairs. I think they're blue with tan pillows. So you can see there, yeah, or green pillows rather. I think it looks very nice. It looks very calming colors in here. And I do like it. I have a kind of modern yet uncomfortable looking seat, but it's okay. It looks nice, so that's what that matters. Sims won't really care. Well, maybe they do. Do they have comfort when they sit down? I think that's a thing. But whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a rug. There's another rug. And that's that pretty much for the master. I put some artwork on the walls as well, and a mirror, so that's pretty nice. And we're moving on to the master bathroom, and the master bathroom is rather small as well, but it's just I don't know what's with it, but I like it. I use as Into the Future came with plants that don't require being placed on ground. You have to place these green bits. Well, I use those plants in this bathroom, but I don't place the green bits. I just place them with Move Objects on. So I placed some bamboo in here, and it looks so nice. I mean, I don't know. It just looks it looks like a spa, a microscopic spa at that. But it looks really nice. I don't know if the bathtub or shower is usable though, because they're very close together. But it's okay. There's the bamboo and some more plants, and I just think it's a luxurious bathroom. I love the bamboo. Personally, I think that's very nice, and some rugs and some little details, and that's pretty much that. And the final room in the house here. Oh, this has been a long video. This is the final room. We're almost done building, and this is going to be the library, as I mentioned many times before. So I'm just putting in some floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, which go along on both walls, on the right and left walls. And I put in some sectional sofas. You can see I do 2 of them, actually, one on each side of the room. And I think that's pretty nice. And I also get some chairs. And I don't know, it's a very nice room as well. It's kind of cozy. It's a nice place to read a book, because it is a library after all. Lots of bookshelves, lots of seating. It's a very nice, cozy kind of room. So you can see here I'm just putting in some chairs and some lamps and a little modern kind of coffee table, which I thought was interesting. And some more plants and our little table. I think it's a domino table thing. I don't know. It's not chess, though. I have no idea what it is. I just threw it in there. It fit. So that's pretty much the house finished. And I'm going to have before and after pictures coming up. I'm also going to have the barn and the garage as well. You'll see that. And I just want to say thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed, I would highly recommend you check out my channel so you can watch my other videos. So this is just the garage here. The video is almost over. I'm going to have the before and after pictures coming up very soon. And everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. And remember, always build beyond the box. Okay, everybody. Bye.